What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. I hope you like what you see. For all you guys that have already liked, shared, and subscribed, I appreciate the support. And as usual, we're going to get into this. So you may not be able to tell by the intro into this video, but we are actually going to talk about a gas tube. And I know, surprising, right? We're doing some AR content. But I mean, I do have ARs. I do like ARs. AKs are just more fun to me, but I digress. So specifically today, we're going to be discussing the Black River Tactical Easy Tune gas tube. You guys might have heard it or see it on other channels, stuff like that. They just call it BRT because it's less of a mouthful than Black River Tactical. But basically, what this product does is, so for instance, the rifle we're using today is an 11.5-inch 5.56 Colt. This upper was made in the early 2000s. I want to say 2003, 2004. This 11.5-inch barrel, when I first got the upper, just to try it out, was rather gassy. It was pretty punchy on recoil. My ejection was going, almost 1 o'clock with no suppressor. I don't want to necessarily encourage you to chase ejection patterns. It's not necessarily the end-all be-all, but given the punchiness of the recoil and the ejection pattern, you could tell that the gun was very, very overgassed. Now, judging by my experience with some older Colts and such, I believe it was just simply overgassed. From the factory, I can tell you from changing this gas tube, having to remove the front sight post, the gas port on this barrel is quite large. It is enormously big compared to modern 10.3 and 10.5 barrels that I've worked on of this day. In modern times, we've really kind of gotten these gas port sizes down to a science. But anyway, yeah, the gun, very overgassed. This was a machine gun back in the day, or at least this upper was on a machine gun, so who knows, it may have seen a little bit of gas port erosion that's leading to that overgassing. But anyway, I wanted it to stay in this basic configuration. I wanted to maintain this A-frame front sight post on here. I didn't want to go to a low profile because I wanted to use this arms setup, and I wanted the actual thing. I didn't, JP Enterprises, they make an A-frame front sight post that is adjustable, but it just doesn't look the part because it just doesn't look right. They're bolted on where this has got the typical taper pins. So, not a lot of options. I mean, if you were to rewind, I don't know, several years, you wouldn't have any option, really, to try and tame one of these down other than doing your best with springs, buffers, possibly adjustable bolt carrier groups. I really, really don't suggest adjustable bolt carrier groups. I've never seen any of them maintain a great reputation. So anyway, but thank goodness we have Black River Tactical. So essentially, the method of operation, how this thing works. I got onto their website. Nobody had the one I wanted in stock. But the nice thing about if you go directly to Black River, you can tell them exactly what barrel you have, what type of ammunition you're going to be shooting, whether it be brass case 223, brass case, 5.56, steel case, mixture of both. Are you going to be shooting it suppressed or, suppressed only, unsuppressed only, a mixture of both? They want to know what spring you're running, what buffers, and they will pick out the port size in the gas tube specifically, or what they feel is going to work best for your gun. It even goes a step further. If you know exactly what your gas port size is, you can mention that to them, and that will help them dial that in a little bit better for you. So obviously I shoot mostly a mixture of 223 and 5.56, both suppressed and unsuppressed. So that is what I requested. I believe we're running an H buffer / H1, and we have a Sprinco White Hot. I know it sounds like a stronger spring. It is not. It is their basic carbine spring. So I told them all that information. They prescribed. Let me see if I can see which one this is. I cannot. I got enough carbon on it, I can't read the numbers anymore. But anyway, so basically the hole in the gas tube is much, 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 much smaller than what they typically look like. I'll see if I can throw a picture in here for you guys of a BRT compared to a normal gas tube. But basically what that does is whenever the round is fired and it's siphoning off some of that gas through your gas block, it only allows so much to actually enter the gas system, and therefore it doesn't overgas the gun. Hopefully in some of the footage today, this being an overcast day, and as you can tell, it is a little bit cooler, sometimes you can see some of that siphoned off gas, that excess gas, it just bleeds off, and you can kind of see it coming out around this exposed A-frame front sight post. So without further ado, let's put some rounds through it. We're going to shoot it unsuppressed first, look at ejection patterns, recoil impulse and stuff, and then we're going to try a couple of different suppressors. We're going to try the Dead Air Sandman X, which typically offers no extra gas back pressure at all to the system. And then we've got my tried and true Yankee Hill T2. So the T3 is the new version of the turbo. It is 30 or 40% less back pressure. So this guy definitely has the back pressure. Probably one of the gassiest cans that I have, but it does sound great, so there is a trade-off there. So less gabbing, more shooting. All right, so showcase that ready mag there. But we are shooting just PMC bronze. This is pretty weak stuff. Even for 223, it's on the weak side. I'd say it's almost on par with steel case. So I'm just going to fire some rounds through it. We're going to see recoil impulse, see the ejection, and then we'll move on to suppressed. So it's super consistent, ejecting maybe 4 o'clock. That's the bleeding edge. If I had something that was ejecting much further backwards than that, I know I said don't chase ejection patterns, but when it starts getting back this way, that's when you know your gun is starting to be undergassed and it might not be super reliable, you know, if it gets dirty. That there, we've got some other footage here we can throw in, but I'm actually pretty impressed with this JMac Customs RRD 360 here. Even being a brake, there's not a lot of flash, and you still get the benefits of the brake using it on a suppressor to where you're not you know, tearing up your blast chamber super fast. So that is actually a very, very good performing muzzle device. All right, got the suppressor on there. Since I can't show that, me installing this on YouTube because YouTube is dumb, we have got the standard 30 caliber flash hider end cap that this suppressor came with. So we are shooting 5.56. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of flash we get with this semi flow-through suppressor from Dead Air. So I'd say ejection may have actually changed from 4 o'clock to about 3, but recoil impulse is no different. I mean, that's actually really good. Granted, I have hearing protection in, but that sounds super good. All right, now we have swapped out to the Yankee Hill T2. Let's see if there's much of a difference. I will say a little bit more felt recoil, not a bunch. There's definitely a little bit more gas coming through here. And I don't know if you guys could catch that. We're about 2:30 to 3 o'clock. So a little bit more back pressure as expected versus, you know, a flow through suppressor. But still, if we did not have that BRT tube in there, there would be a huge difference. I mean, it would be undeniable. So anyway, let's get these rounds out of here. Let's try some full power 5.56 with the T2. Okay, so I went and fetched some, I don't know if it's going to focus on here, maybe you can see that. These are Frontier 75 grain match. This is some of the same ammo that I shot in some of the Texas Weapon Systems series, where I was going to see, or maybe it was just my 10,000 round review of my arsenal. I wanted to see what kind of accuracy I could get out of it. But either way, this is definitely 5.56 spec. I mean, these bullets are really, they're cooking and booking considering the grain weight. So they are definitely 5.56 spec. So enough gabbing, more shooting. So that one is around 2 o'clock. Both of those were 2. Both of those around 2. So still, I mean, you just can't negate all of the back pressure that the can produces. I mean, it can only siphon off so much, but again, being able to not have to run super heavy buffers or anything like that in this gun. I'm also getting no gas to my face, which is another huge plus. So yeah, I highly recommend these things. I've used them before. They're great. So there we have it, and it's perfect time to start wrapping this video up because it is starting to rain. Not that I'm allergic to it, but I don't want my camera equipment to necessarily get wet, get damaged. But there you have it. If you are wanting a setup kind of like this where you maintain this, or there's some type of aesthetic that you're trying to maintain, the BRT tube is a great way to solve any overgassing issues. Granted, they are very expensive considering they are a gas tube. So these gas tubes are roughly 60 to 65 ball hairs. Sometimes you can find them, some of the generic ones, you can find them on, I think I bought my first one from Ford Controls Design, and I want to say it was maybe 50 ball hairs. So quite a bit more, or quite a bit better deal. But these gas tubes are, I believe a lot of people rate them to last up around 10, 15,000 rounds. Granted, that is going to vary dramatically depending on how fast you shoot, whether you're shooting suppressed, especially with FRTs out there now. Basically all that extra heat, the hotter, like if you're running an FRT suppressed, it's gonna have a shorter lifespan. So keep that in mind. Personally, I like this idea where I could basically set it, forget it, and it's good, obviously, across the board. I don't have to mess with an adjustable gas block. I do like adjustable gas blocks on my AKs. I have not had good luck with them on AR-15s. So maybe you have, I just don't really care for them. But anyway, for a great and easy way to basically, again, set it, forget it, way to adjust the gas on your gun, shoot suppressed, unsuppressed, whatever, smooth out the recoil impulse, all the above, might look into these BRT Easy Tune gas tubes. If you guys would like to see a full video on this sweet old Colt, let me know. Let me know down in the comments. Maybe we'll start doing a little more AR content for once. God damn. God damn. Yeah, guys, thanks for stopping by. If you have any questions or anything, let me know down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. I'd really appreciate it. And I hope I can see you guys in the next video.